All right, how we doing? My name's Ashton. Got a bit of another rant going on here. So there's been some beef between. If you didn't watch my last video, I'll fill you in. There's been some beef between Mick Gordon, the composer behind the Doom soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks in the history of gaming, in my personal opinion, and Bethesda, who produced Doom, the game. Bethesda have also done other things like Fallout and Skyrim. Good games, but basically, Mick Gordon put out an hour-long tweet thread on Twitter saying, basically, Bethesda have screwed me over, here's the evidence. Bethesda have written a statement back, a small statement. I've got it on here on my laptop screen. In case people have noticed, yes, Nick Nocturnal has done a video on this. I'm a big fan of Nick Nocturnal. I'm not doing this to copy him. I'm doing this because you guys need to know, because at the end of the day, this is ridiculous. And this is I'll read you now the post that Bethesda have written, and it's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. The recent post by Mick Gordon both mischaracterised and misrepresented the team at ID Software, the development of Doom Eternal, Marty Stratton and Chad Mossholder, with a one-sided and unjust account of an irreparable professional relationship. How? Come on, man! Like, for God's sake, like, have you actually read his hour-long thesis? I could write my dissertation on that. You know, like, absolutely ridiculous. There was so much thing. There was receipts, there was timescales, there was messages between the thing, and they have the cheek to come back and say this. There's more. We are aware of all the details and history in this matter and unequivocally support Marty, Chad, and the team at ID Software. We reject the distortion of the truth and selective presentation of of incomplete facts, in quotation marks. We stand ready with full and complete documented evidence to disclose in an appropriate venue as needed. The statements posted online have incited harassment and threats of violence against Marty, Chad, and the ID Software team. I do not condone violence. No one should condone violence, because at the end of the day, violence doesn't solve anything. You know, there's a war going on in Ukraine, and thousands, probably, I'm not sure how many people have died, but people have died because Putin wants Ukraine to be part of the thing, part of Russia again. But when it comes to this, no one should be inciting violence at all. But I completely understand where they're coming from. Like, you are idiots. You are idiots. For God's sake, man. Any threats or harassment directed towards members of our team will be met with swift and appropriate action to protect their health and safety. Fair enough, can't argue with that. We remain incredibly proud of ID Software's previous collaborations with Mick Gordon and ask that fans refrain from reaching conclusions based on his account and, more importantly, from attacking any of the individuals mentioned on either side, including Marty, Chad or Mick. That little bit at the end there is just to like say, oh yeah, we are the good guys. We are the good guys. No, you're not. You've screwed over Mick Gordon, one of the greatest composers of our time, in my personal opinion. And then you have the cheeks to come back and say, well, no, he was wrong, you know, I'm telling Mum. Shut up, man. Shut up, man. Screw Bethesda. That's going to be the title of this video. Screw Bethesda. You know what? Screw Bethesda. Don't buy their games. Right. Before I end this video, though, at the end of the day, I'm not the arbiter of what you can and can't do. If you want to play the Bethesda games, at the end of the day, they make great games to do. You know, Skyrim, I've spent hours on Skyrim. You know, and Fallout 4, I played a lot of Fallout 4. Fallout 3 was better, but I played a lot of Fallout 4 as well. But, like, I'm not the arbiter of what you can and can't do, and I don't ever want to be. You know, at the end of the day, I'm just some dude who lives in England, you know? But I hope I'm not the only one that can see the complete idiocy of Bethesda's statement here. It's just ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous. Take the L. You know? Take the L. Give him the money that he's due, because he's created something amazing, and then be done with it. Instead of, oh no, it wasn't me, it was Mick. I'm telling him, shut up, like, come on. I'm sorry, this has been a proper rant, but I think personally this deserved a video. And as always, make sure that you research this as well. I'm not going into like the original Mick Gordon hour-long thesis thing in anywhere enough detail in my last video, but you guys need to check. You should check it out. Like, it's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. But yes, anyway, on that sad note, thank you very much for joining me anyway, and have a good morning, day, evening, night, wherever you may be on the face of the earth. Ta-ra.